So my experiment was based around the question of, does reward affect the risks we take? My hypothesis was that it does not, or that it does affect the risks we take. What I did was take 10 kids and split them into 2 groups of 5. I had each person blow up a balloon using a tire pump. I read a script to them so the information that they knew would be consistent. Each pump equaled a point, and they could stop whenever they want, and their score would be what their points were at that time. If their balloon popped at any time, their score would be immediately set as 0. No one knew the score of the others in their group, and for one group, I gave them a knowledge of a prize. So if they had the highest score in their group, they would win a prize, but for the other group, I didn't. After collecting data, I found out that scores of both groups were pretty much the same. The best value for the non-reward group, oh yeah, that's a surprise. The best value for the non-reward group was 20.4, while the best value for the reward group was 20.5. As you can see, there's not much of a difference. You might not be able to see it, but the red one's slightly bigger. Also, the true value ranges overlapped, so it could even be where the non-reward group had a higher score than the reward group. The uncertainties for both groups were 3.5, so we know the data is pretty accurate. My claim from this experiment is that reward does not actually affect risks. Even though the reward group has a higher best value, it's only by 0.1%, so it's not sufficient enough to make a difference. Also, the true values overlap, meaning we don't know whether or not the reward group actually took more risks. With the information in mind, we can all agree that reward doesn't affect risks. However, it could affect other things. Reward can instead affect things like willpower, stress, and performance. If you are striving for good grades and you set yourself a reward, say new clothes if you get all A's, you'd be more motivated to study and get good grades. There were some things I would definitely do differently if I were to do this experiment again. I would probably use a different balloon every time. I noticed that the balloon was getting more stretchy every time a person used it. So that proves a problem in itself. I had some outliers, and I believe that the whole balloon situation was because of that. Also, I'd probably use participants of all the same gender, since numerous studies have shown that men are actually scientifically more risk takers than women are. And I had 2 guys in my experiment, so that could have affected it. In conclusion, my experiment shows that reward doesn't really affect risks. I'm not saying to not set rewards anymore, just do it in moderation. Rewards are great things. They motivate us to do things we may not want to do, even if it'll benefit us.